to Cyclone Lanes for another Harlan Community High School boys and girls bowling meet. Today we are hosting the Shenandoah Mustangs. I will be doing the commentary today for you, and this is Bailey Portwood. If you're familiar, I have been doing the live broadcast. This is my second season. I was a member of the Harlan Community High School bowling team for 4 years, and its initial year, which was 2013. That was a long time ago. And then I continued on to Morningside University in Sioux City, where I bowled for all 4 years. So back in my hometown, working at the school, and now I get to do this on the side. So welcome to today's matchup. We'll be going through the lineups here as individual play has already started. We'll start with our varsity girls here on lanes 3 and 4. For your Harlan lineup on lane 3, we've got Phoenix Brewer, Kaylee Daniel, Charlie Dorr, Madeline Gall, Katie Stern, and Haley Strom. On lane 4 for the Shenandoah Mustangs, we've got Sparrow Hummel, Mary Hummel, Nora Martin, Allie Hansen, Tori Pease, and Jalen Gray. Moving to lanes 5 and 6, we've got our Harlan varsity boys on lane 5. We've got Caleb Ernst, Reese Gessert, Donovan Smith, Rylan Monahan, Eric McCauley, and Logan Strom. On lane 6, we've got our Shenandoah varsity boys. Their lineup is going to be Owen Noakes, Spencer Ford, Landon Cognac, Tegan Brunk, Matt Holmes, and Clay Fouch. Over on lanes 7 and 8, we also have our Harlan varsity or JV boys and Shenandoah JV boys. So there on lane 7, our lineup is Zeke Christensen, Jacob Went, Noah Simon, Reese Griffin, Gideon Lyons, and Gavin Sisson. Shenandoah JV boys on lane 8 is going to be Gage Rothmeyer, Ethan Chapman, Luke Mather, Will Stevenson, Mikey Waite, and Caden Hodge. All right, just looking at where we are heading into our first game. All teams are just about halfway done with their first frame. Up on lane 3, we've got Madeline Gall, who is a freshman for the Harlan Cyclone girls bowling team. This is her first year out for bowling ever, and she comes with a little experience as far as getting in here and practicing and just kind of soaking it all up. She has a 7 count down there on lane 3, and she's going for the spare. Went a little too far to the left, and she missed all 3. We will move to Katie Stern for the varsity girls. Shenandoah girls varsity on lane 4 there has a pretty good start to the frame. Just 2 opens so far. On our varsity boys, we got Logan Strom up, and he's going to put all 10 back. Just 1 open there for the varsity boys by Donovan Smith. Split. Didn't quite see what that one was, but as we know, splits are not the easiest thing. Looking at our Shenandoah Mustangs, finishing up on lane 6. Got a Brooklyn shot by Clay Fouch. He'll shoot for that 8-pin there, and if he picks that up, the Shenandoah Mustangs will have almost a clean frame there in the first frame. The last time we broadcasted, Katie Stern was still doing a 1-step modified approach after having some knee surgery. She is back to a full approach and had a very nice pickup there, the 6th spare in the first frame. We've got Haley Strom up for the Cyclones, another freshman on the team. The team is pretty young this year, so we do have, let's see, Coach Anderson did leave me some notes. We debriefed after the first couple of meets that were at home during first semester of this school year, just to kind of see what's going on, what I can talk about on this broadcast a little bit more, because we do have a lot of new faces on the team this year. So finding those talking points and just knowing where each of the bowlers are at in their journey can be a little bit more difficult. I've been out of the game a little bit as far as knowing all of them. So I've seen a few of them bowl junior leagues over the years, just having grown up here myself, coming home from school, moving back to the area, all the sorts. So Haley Strom, who's up on lane 3 right now with a 9 count. Just shooting at a single pin spare. She did grow up bowling Saturday morning youth league, so I did get to know her and her brother Logan Strom through that pretty well. So it is really fun to see the progress that they've made over the years and just transforming their game into something that is only going to improve. Haley Strom covered that single pin spare on lane 3 for the Cyclones. So looking at our lineup, Haley Strom, Charlie Dorr, Madeline Gall, and Phoenix Brewer are all freshmen this year. So like I said, very young team. And then we have Katie Stern, who is a sophomore this year. And then Kaylee Daniel is also a sophomore, but this is her first year out for bowling. Moving to lanes 5 and 6, we'll look how the varsity boys action is going so far. We've got Donovan Smith up on lane 6 for the Harlan boys. Coming off an open in the first frame, and now looking at where the Cyclones are at, we have 2 6-2 frames for the Cyclones. Caleb Ernst had a nice big 4, which is when you leave the 4, 6, 7, 10. It's not an easy spare to shoot at. It's kind of a big, nasty split, almost just as bad as the 7-10 split. So he's able to get a 2 count out of there, and then Reese Gesser also got a 6-2 count. Donovan did shoot a 9 count, leaves a 7 pin to shoot at here. He is going to get over there and run that one down, so that'll lead us to Rylan Monahan. Looking at the boys' side of it, right now Caleb Ernst, he's a sophomore. He did grow up bowling as well, has siblings that have bowled. His sister bowls a Thursday night women's league on my team, actually. And then his older brother did bowl for a little while in high school as well. His dad bowls regularly here too, so it's a family affair. And his sister is actually Charlie Dorr, who is on the girls' team. So lots of bowling in that family. Logan Strom, like I mentioned, brother to Haley Strom, has been bowling for quite a few years, as long as I've known him, and he is an 11th grader. Eric McCulley is one of the 2 seniors for the Harlan Cyclones. Gideon Lyons and Donovan Smith are juniors, and then we've got Rylan Monahan and Reese Gesser on the varsity side, who are freshmen. Reese Gesser also comes from a long line of bowling. If you know the last name Gesser and you're from Harlan, you know that a lot of them have spent a lot of time at Cyclone Lanes bowling over the years. So Reese comes with a wealth of knowledge. One of his sisters was one of the prominent members of the 2019 and 2020 state qualifying teams for Harlan. And his dad has been in the business for quite a while bowling. Many of his aunts, uncles, grandparents, you name it, at least somebody that you know in his family has bowled for many years. Let's see. We've got Caleb Ernst shooting out a 5 pin there on lane 5, and Eric McCulley unfortunately just missed a single pin spare there on lane 6. So now we'll move to Logan Strom. Haley Strom is up for the Cyclones on lane 4, coming off of a spare in the first frame. Second frame's going to start with an 8 count. Then we have Reese Gesser up on lane 5 for the Cyclone varsity boys. As you can see, Reese is sporting a very nice pink cast on his left wrist. Fortunately, he's still able to get out here and compete, but did see a nasty snowboarding accident that unfortunately resulted in that cast. He is going to run down that 7-pin though, so as we can see, that cast isn't going to phase him too much. Phoenix Brewer up on lane 3 for the Cyclone girls. She's going to go Brooklyn, but she is going to get an 8 count there, but she did leave a 7-9 split, which, again, not going to be the easiest thing to pick up, so we'll just take the count there. Donovan Smith up on lane 5 for the Varsity boys. Throws it right down the middle, and it is going to hook and go Brooklyn, but it was a little bit high on the Brooklyn side, so we didn't knock out the 5-pin or the 9-pin. Rylan Monahan up on lane 5 for the Varsity boys here today. He's going to get into the pocket, and he is going to leave a 5-pin there. Came up just a little bit light into the pocket.
And she said, please, and she'll sign it as well. And
Rylan pushed that ball outside a little bit, and then it didn't move too much at all. It's going to miss that 5-pin, and that'll take us to Eric McCauley in the lineup.
Programming on HLTV Channel 15 has been brought to you by Pizza Ranch in Harlan, Do It Best Hardware, The Agency in Harlan,
Hamilton Financial Services, Fairway in Harlan, Hanson House Senior Living, Experience Life, Experience Hanson House.
Western Iowa Medical, providing outstanding service and the highest quality medical equipment and supplies in Western Iowa.
United Bank of Iowa, the difference is here, member FDIC.
Paulie Jones Funeral Home, longtime supporter of Harlan Community Athletics and events.
Murtu Medical Center, committed to you, committed to our community.
Murtu Medical Center, physical therapy and rehab services.
Peterson Family Wellness Center and Lewis Family Aquatic Complex. Live well.
Patriots Choice Contracting, Harlan, Iowa, building for future generations.
Cyclone Scenic Chemical, build a bigger Ben.
Dr. J's Family Eye Care, longtime supporter of Cyclone Sports in Harlan.
Family Service Community, SCSB.
Keast Auto Center, proudly serving Southwest Iowa for over 31 years.
Conducting Swampler is a proud supporter of the Harlan community, education, and student activities. We move your business forward.
Cyclone Lanes, great family entertainment, including bowling, sandwiches, and homemade buttercrust pizzas.
Eric McCauley up on lane 5 for the Cyclones. Him and a couple of the other varsity members, Caleb Ernst and Logan Strom, made their way down to Wichita State this past summer for a bowling camp. That is a very prominent university to be going to expand your knowledge of the game. I was fortunate enough to attend the same camp many years ago, a couple years in a row. They learned a lot. I know Eric McCauley took a lot away about reading, mental game, mental toughness, all the sorts. If you have encountered bowling as a sport that you've been involved in, or even golf. Golf is very similar. Just the mental toughness and mental awareness that it takes to continuously improve your game, not get in your head. So even though we look at it as a team sport, we treat it as a team sport in high school and in college. There's such an individual aspect to it as far as you're up on that approach alone. No one's up there assisting you during an individual game. During Bakers, you do have the fortunate opportunity to be supporting your teammates. Somebody's assisting you by getting a spare in the 4th frame, so then you're set up to get an extra count in the 5th frame. So stuff like that. But for the most part, bowling is individualized when it comes to your game and being on the approach by yourself. Nobody's helping you swing the ball. Nobody's helping you get it down the lane. That's all you. So sometimes in a big crowd, especially if you've ever been to a high school bowling meet here in Harlan, you know that it's a big crowd. It's close quarters and it's a big crowd. So I know the 3 of them pulled a lot of knowledge away from that camp and have been able to incorporate that as they head into this season. So it'll be exciting to see how much they continue to improve with everything that they learned at that camp, what they're doing in practice with Coach Anderson and Coach Kurtz, and just seeing, again, how that improves and has an impact on their game in the boys' season. Katie Stern is up there on lane 3 for the varsity girls. She went Brooklyn and put all 10 back. Now we'll move to Haley Strom in the lineup. Haley leaves a 1-8-9 up there. Kind of an unusual leave. Don't see that too often. Kind of a fun fact about today's matchup. Shenandoah versus Harlan was actually the first ever bowling meet for both schools. We started our teams the same year, so we had our initial meet here at Cyclone Lanes in 2012. So it was first meet for both teams. A lot to learn. Both teams have come very far. Both have had state appearances, individual state qualifiers, many collegiate bowlers. So it's kind of fun to see all of it come to fruition. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's been 13 years since the first meet between these two schools, and here they are meeting again. So it'll be kind of fun to see where this meet goes. Unfortunately, the first meet, Harlan girls did not win, but I believe boys took the win in that first initial meeting in 2012. I could be wrong. Somebody can pull up a stat book and tell me. Caleb Ernst up on lane 6, going for a 2-count spare. He does put that one back. Caleb Ernst did set a couple new school records this season already in December at Bolero against the Council Bluffs schools. He actually replaced his brother's high 2-game series of a 476 with a 481. And then he replaced a high game previously held by Lucas Schmitz, 276 with a 279. So Caleb is already off to a really awesome season so far. He is actually averaging 204 on the season, which is incredible. Has an 80% Baker fill percentage, which is just incredible. We also have Logan Strom averaging 195, Eric McCauley at 187, Gideon Lyons at 173, just to name a few. So those are some great averages to see so early in their season. Looking at the girls' side of averages, Haley Strom is the high average this season so far with a 136. And then we've got Katie Stern with a 114, Charlie Dorr with a 107, and Madeline Gull with a 96. So those are your top averages. Obviously, we'd love to see, even more improvement and get all the girls' averages over 100, which they're so close and within reach that by the end of the season, I can see that being very doable. Looking at the girls' Baker percentages, Haley Strom leads the team again with an 83% fill, which is incredible. So I'm sure a lot of you tuning in are familiar with how a high school bowling meet works. They do bowl 2 individual games, which again is the more individualized portion of the meet, and then they bowl 5 Baker games. Baker games are when the teams have a lineup, and again, it's more of the team aspect of the sport. So you're having somebody bowl the 1st and the 6th frame, 2nd, 7th, 3rd, 8th, 4th, 9th, and 5th and 10th frames. So you only have 5 bowlers bowling. They each bowl 2 frames. And then, like I said, that just really helps with the team aspect of it. That's where you're assisting the person that bowls after you, setting them up for success by getting a fill of some sort, whether that's a strike or a spare. So that's when it can get really rowdy. We'll see how rowdy it gets today. It can get loud. Go to a college tournament and experience it at that level. It's going to tell you it's even crazier. But that's kind of what makes the sport so fun. So people think bowling is sitting on the sidelines, being quiet, only moving your eyes. Yes, it might be like that on the pro tour, but in high school and college, you can truly have a lot of fun with it. You can cheer. A lot of teams make cheers for themselves. I don't know if the broadcast picks up on any of it, but the girls do have a couple things that they cheer whenever they get some fills or go on a run, having a lot of fills like in Baker and all that stuff. So they find ways to make it fun and entertaining, because it can get a little long when you're just sitting there waiting for your turn, or if you're sitting just at the table and being that support system during Baker and not bowling. Eric McCauley was up on lane 6 there and put all 10 back. Him and Logan Strom are both having pretty good games so far right now. Only 1 fill between the 2 of them, which is awesome to see.
I've burnt my hand so many times with the little scarecrow things that people have. Do you remember those? They were like, it was and then
Madeline Gall with a spare for the Cyclones. Logan Strom with a 9 count there on lane 6. And we've got Caleb Ernst up on lane 5. Playing a very tight line. Going to go through the nose and leave a 4-7 out there.
all you guys, and we went to Ellie's work, and you guys passed out some. And then we went to
Logan ran down his single pin spare there. And then we do have Katie Stern back up for the varsity girls there on lane 4. See if Caleb's able to run down, oh, excuse me, the spare here, and he does just that. Katie's ball is not going to come up at all. She's going to go for a 3 and a 4 count there in the 4th frame. So move on to Haley Strom. Haley could really use a fill here. Just coming off 2 opens. Need some momentum going on the girls' side. Not too many fills overall. From what I'm seeing on the scoreboard, it looks like we have 6 fills over the course of 24 frames. So could really use another fill here to just increase that and help the girls get in the groove and find what's going to work for them right now. Reese Gesser here on lane 5, shooting at a 10 pin. He could also use a fill here too. No strikes so far. I know it's not going to be easy to get in the right groove of throwing with a cast on. Been there. He did pick up that 10 pin there. And Haley Strom had a much better second ball, and she also ran down that 1-2 spare. Back to Donovan Smith in the lineup for the boys here on lane 5, and Phoenix Brewer heading into the 5th frame for the girls on lane 3. Donovan had a much better ball, and he found a really nice line there. Put it right into the pocket.
There you are. And that was a deep, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Be productive. Speed.
actually hired here. It's like she just wants to roll right.
Rylan Monahan going for the 3-count spare there on lane 5 and runs that down with no problem. So far, this has been a really nice frame for the boys. No open so far, so hopefully Eric McCauley can keep that train going. Kaylee Daniel up on lane 3 for the Cyclone girls, and she's going to run down that single pin spare as well for her first fill of the game.
They have senior banners.
Eric McCauley leaves a 3-10 baby split there on lane 5. This one is very doable, so we'll see if he's able to run it down. Charlie Dorr with a 3-count on her spare that she previously had in the 4th frame. A little bit of count there. See if she's able to get a little bit more. My gosh, today is the day of yawns. I'm so sorry.
Squishy, your flower girl. My nephew.
Just looking at where we're at for total scores. Keep in mind that we are going to drop the low series from the 2-game competition. So our varsity girls are sitting at a 242. Our Shenandoah Mustangs are sitting at a 359. Varsity Harlan boys are at a 410. Shenandoah varsity boys are at a 440. Our Harlan JV boys are at a 352, and the junior varsity Shenandoah boys are at a 336. So pretty close for both boys teams. The girls have a ways to go if they want to make up some pins and catch up to where the Mustangs are at there. So we'll see if they're able to do anything in the second half of this first game before we move into the second game of individuals.
So, I mean, it's like Dennis.
Oh, what can they do those boats? Where's it
at? No, they live in Chesterfield. She's still alive.
Katie Stern up for the varsity girls on lane 3. Had an 8-count for the first ball of her 5th frame. Shooting for the spare, and she is going to grab both of those pins. All right. Caleb and Reese started the 6th frame off with back-to-back strikes there for the Cyclone boys. We'll see if Donovan Smith is able to put up another one, and he would end up with a double if he were to. Threw it outside a little bit again. That line's looking a lot better, and he doubles up, no problem. That outside line is definitely working for him. Doesn't have a ton of revs on the ball, but he definitely has enough where it is coming up really nice. Rylan was throwing it a little bit more inside, so we'll see if he makes an adjustment. He was coming in a little bit light, so maybe making that 2-1 move to the right would help his ball come up just a little bit more. Haley Strawn picks up her spare there on lane 3 for the Cyclones. Rylan's going to pull the ball just right across his body and leaves a 5-pin. But again, easy to run down. Looks like there's a little bit of frustration from the Shenandoah Mustang boys, just about finding a line. Can be difficult, especially when I believe they have wood lanes down there in Shenandoah, unless they've remodeled since the last time I've been there, which, again, was a while ago, probably like senior year of high school. So it does make a difference, just with how the oil absorbs and the way that you move, how quick you gotta move. Just different lane conditions. It is something that you have to get used to in high school bowling. You're going somewhere different all the time. Usually only bowl at one house a year, as far as you only bowl. If they go to Shenandoah, they're only bowling there once that year. And then you're not going to bowl there for 2 more years. So it can be hard to adjust, kind of figure that out just in time for you to walk out the door and not come back for 2 more years because you're only bowling everybody once a year. Logan Strom up on lane 6 for the varsity boys leaves a 4-5. And Phoenix Brewer ran down her 3-pin spare on lane 4. So now we are to Kaylee Daniel for the girls. Logan went right in between those pins and was able to knock both of those down. Taking a look over on lanes 7 and 8, our JV boys are finishing up their 5th frame with Gavin Sisson up for the Harlan Cyclones. I believe, according to my sheet, this is actually his first year out for bowling as a 10th grader, averaging 146 on the season. High game of a 150 and a high series of a 300. So, like I said, always fun to see the improvement. Zeke Christensen started the 6th frame off for the JV boys with a strike. He is the other senior, so he is a senior 2 of 2. Eric McCauley and Zeke Christensen, only 2 seniors this year. So that means a lot of people are coming back next year, which again means so much room for more improvement throughout this season, just leading up to a great season next year as well. Caleb Ernst coming off of a strike in the 6th frame. We'll see if he's able to double up.
Like, feels loud. Yeah.
3.
Too much of a curve.
Madeline Gall up for the Cyclone varsity girls. They're on lane 4. Straight down the middle. She went on the Brooklyn side of that and leaves a 2-pin spare to shoot at. Reese threw that one way far outside and it was not coming back. So we'll get a second attempt here to get some pins. There we go. Could have used that on the first ball there, Reese. We'll take it on the second.
All right, Kate. Give us a strike.
Got Katie Stern up for the Harlan girls on lane 4 and Donovan Smith up for the boys on lane 5. Went for the 3-bagger there. 3 strikes in a row, so that's going to lead us right to Rylan Monahan in the lineup. Katie goes Brooklyn there on lane 4 and leaves a 6-10 2-count spare to shoot at. Rylan had a strike there in the 7th frame on lane 5 for the varsity boys. So now that'll lead us to Eric Cully. Looks really good off Eric's hand there on lane 5 for the first ball. Came up just a little bit light though. Didn't punch that 9-pin out of there. So he'll be shooting at a 4-9. A little bit more doable than some of the leaves we've seen today. Just go on the far left side of the 4-pin if you could. See what he decides to do. Just gonna go for a count there. Phoenix Brewer on lane 3 and Haley Strom shooting at a single 5-pin there on lane 4. Haley knocks the 5-pin down there.
Yeah.
Got Logan Strom shooting at a, oh my gosh, 3-10 baby split there on lane 5. He goes right between them. It's going to pick him up. And then we've got Caleb Ernst up on lane 6 and Kaylee Daniel up on lane 3.
Got knives. He didn't hold it. Yeah.
Caleb Ernst with a messy strike there in the 6th frame. Thought he might leave the 5-7 out of that, but then they all just kind of fell. Reese Gesser with a strike in the 6th frame. But he's really wishing that he would have had a second ball in the 7th frame as his first ball there. Could have had a 3-bagger. Donovan Smith up for the Cyclones on lane 6. He does have a really nice line right now, so I'd love to see him put another one in the pocket for a 4-bagger here. Really makes up for his 2 splits that he started the first 4 frames off with. Threw that one a little bit more outside, hugged the gutter and the 1 board for quite some time. Only ended up with a 3 count there.
How do you top Pizza Ranch's legendary cheesy ranch sticks? Any way you want. Get a load of these. Our new loaded cheesy ranch sticks are now topped with an extra layer of flavor, skillet crust, melty cheese, herbs and spices, and up to 2 of your favorite toppings. They're the ultimate appetizer on the buffet or on the go. Don't you just love that new menu item smell? Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
You've worked hard to achieve success. You deserve a financial advisor that works as hard for you. At Hamilton Financial Services, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, we have the qualifications and the experience to help navigate your complex financial needs. Whether it's investment management, tax strategies, or legacy planning, we can work with you to help grow and preserve what you've worked so hard to achieve. Contact Dylan Hamilton today at 712-784-5500.
How do you game? Do you shoot your shot? you go for the goal? Or throw the high cheese? Whatever you do, our goal at Murtu Physical Therapy is to keep you in the game. Murtu Physical Therapy. Game on.
Rylan Monahan up on lane 6 for the varsity boys. And then we've got Madeline Gall, who's going to be shooting at a single 4-pin on lane 3. Rylan found a nice line. Just needs to make a small adjustment to punch that 5-pin out. Coming up just a little bit light. And I believe he did that on a few other shots this frame, or in this game. Oh my gosh, it's been such a day. Madeline Gall runs down that single pin on lane 3. Rylan knocks down that 5-pin there on lane 6.
Yep. Do you want me to go? Cam, here, asking if you want to go down there.
Eric McCauley leaves a 10-pin here on lane 6 for the varsity boys. Katie Stern just got a 3 count on her spare there. Just leaving her to 6-3 in the 7th frame. So now we'll be at Haley Strom. And she's going to get an 8 count there and be shooting at a 2-pin spare. Eric misses that single 10-pin there on lane 6, so we will head to Logan Strom.
And not on.
All right, we are heading into the 8th frame for the girls, the 9th frame for the boys. Logan Strom's first miss of the game there right now with a 10-pin. And then we've got Caleb Ernst up on lane 5, shooting at a 6-pin.
It looks nice. Yeah.
Reese Gessert leaves a 1-2-10 on lane 5 for his 9th frame. And then we've got Charlie Dorr up on lane 4 for the varsity girls. She does have a spare in the 7th frame, so it'd be nice to see a big count here for her first ball. And she's going to do just that with an 8 count there. Reese gets 2 of the 3 for his shot there in the 9th frame. Now I'll be back to Donovan Smith once again. Donovan Smith puts it a little bit further inside after he was hugging the one board there and on lane 6 in the 8th frame. Probably scared him a little bit because it stayed on the one board for quite some time down the lane. Put it in a little bit inside, came up a little high, just didn't knock out the 10 pin there.
I didn't. Oh God.
Varsity girls are struggling quite a bit just to fill the frames on lanes 3 and 4. Shenandoah is not having as big of a problem with that, and they do have a pretty big lead over the varsity girls. Although, keep in mind, we do still have to drop the low varsity scores.
Monday.
Katie Stern up on lane 4 for the varsity girls. She knocks all 10 back. Much needed for the girls. Rylan Monahan is going to run down a 6-10 2-count spare there for his 9th frame. That'll lead us to Eric McCauley. Got Haley Strom up on lane 4 for the varsity girls. It's gonna leave a funky 5-pin lead there. They just kept kind of falling.
I know. No.
Then you're able to put in your butt.
Eric McCauley comes back after that. A couple frames that were open with a nice strike for his 9th frame. So we'll be back to Logan Strom in the lineup, who is also coming off of a missed 10-pin. Haley Strom's ball somehow held on, and she got that 5-pin. Logan Strom's ball did not exactly do what he wanted to. I could see him jump a little bit when he wasn't happy with the results. Left a 3-6 shoot at here.
I do. I know when you're always face. But like yesterday, I felt.
Runs that one down. Only one open for him in this game so far. I know he's probably wanting to string some strikes together, but again, like it was engraved in my mind growing up, spares win tournaments. That's just about the case in every aspect of bowling. If you can close a frame, you have a better chance of making it further than the next person. So we'll keep that in mind as we roll into the 10th frame here for the Cyclone boys. As we wrap up the first game for the boys and the girls head into their 9th frame, we will take a minute to thank our Channel 15 2025-2026 sponsors. We've got Pizza Ranch in Harlan, United Bank of Iowa, Western Iowa Medical, Conductix Wampler, Murphy Medical Center, KNOD Radio, Cyclone Lanes, Keast Auto Center, Shelby County State Bank, Hanson House Senior Living, Polly Jones Funeral Home, Murtu Medical Center Physical Therapy and Rehab Services, Fairway in Harlan, Do It Best Hardware, The Agency Insurance, Dr. J's Family Eye Care, Cyclone Seed and Chemical, Hamilton Financial Services, Patriots Choice Contracting, and the Peterson Family Wellness Center and Lewis Family Aquatic Complex. Again, thank you to our sponsors. Back to the 10th frame here for the varsity boys on lane 6. Caleb Ernst was able to run down his 3-count spare there on lane 6, so he will get 1 extra shot attempt here in the 10th frame. Phoenix Brewer is about to run down a 10-pin there on lane 3, which was much needed. She only has 1 other fill this game, so anything will help as it leads us into the 10th frame. Caleb's going to finish with a 9-count there and finish with a 153 total for game 1. Owen Noakes for Shenandoah finishes with a 187 for his first game. We've got Spencer Ford finishing with a 161 for the Mustangs. Reese Gesser shooting at a 3-count spare there. Only is going to get 1 of those. He's going to finish with a 146.
That's why I didn't get it though. Yeah. She's still waiting on it. Like my kidneys hurt right here. No, my kidneys hurt. Yeah.
Donovan Smith found that line again and had a very nice strike there to start off his 10th frame. He'll get 2 more shot attempts here.
No. Well, everything down is almost good.
Finishing up their 10th frame for the Shenandoah varsity boys, we've got Landon Cognac. He is visibly frustrated with the way he's throwing the ball right now, so you can tell he's just hoping to get a fill here. He is a 2-hander, puts a lot of hand on the ball, just comes up a lot more than what a lot of his teammates throw, so it can be hard to talk about that. Just to take that down a notch. The back end of the lane today is definitely snapping, and he's seeing that and is struggling to adjust a little bit. Donovan Smith finished with a 163. Leads us to Rylan Monahan.
Madeline. Oh, she's got that. She's tightly multiple
Rylan Monahan starts his 10th frame off with a strike. 2 more shot attempts here for him. Tegan Brunk for the Shenandoah Mustangs had a 7 spare for his 10th frame, so he'll have 1 more shot attempt, sitting at a 152 currently, plus whatever count he receives here. Rylan Monahan got a 9 count there, gonna shoot at the 3 to try to convert that.
Take it off, buddy.
Tegan Brunk goes Brooklyn and finishes with a 162 for the Mustangs. Rylan unfortunately missed that single pin and finished with a 148 for the Cyclones. Phoenix Brewer starts off the 10th frame for the varsity girls over there on lane 4. Phoenix chops 1 off of the split that she had there, and she's going to finish with a 96. Eric McCulley strikes for the first shot of his 10th frame, doubling up off of the strike in the 9th frame. I'd love to see one more from him just to give us a bigger game here for the Cyclone boys. Doesn't strike, but misses a nasty 8-10 split by having that 10 pin fall off a little bit later. Matt Holmes finishes with a 216 for the Shenandoah Mustangs.
Do you need anything else?
No. I mean,
Kaylee Daniel finishes with a 94 for the varsity girls.
61.
And Eric McCulley is going to finish with a 161.
Only 5.
Charlie Doerr's first shot of the 10th frame is just a 3 count, it looks like. We'll see if she's able to convert anything there. Logan Strom started the 10th frame off with a strike there on lane 6, while Clay Couch finished for the Shenandoah Mustangs on lane 5 with a 135. Charlie Dorr finishes with a 90 for our varsity girls. And Logan Strom doubles up. He's going to take the high game for the boys. If he punches out here, he'll finish with a 193, which would be much needed as we head into game 2. Keep in mind, again, we will drop the low series for all teams. But as of right now, we are sitting at a... There we go. Very nice finish for Logan Strom with a 193. So we finished with a 964 to Shenandoah's 975. So, like I said, we'll drop that low series. But definitely some friendly competition going on here leading into the second game. Madeline Gulch hops off the head pin out of her 1-3 lead, and she's going to finish with a 96 as well. That'll take us to Katie Stern in the lineup. Katie Stern leaves a 4-5-7 there on lane 4. Could go through the middle between the 4 and the 5. I have got to stop yawning. And hope for the best on that 4 pin, going around and snatching the 7 pin and knocking that over, or just go for the count. Kind of a personal preference on what you feel most confident with here. She's going to go in the middle, or attempt to, and she's only going to cut off that 5 pin out of there. She's going to finish with a 121 for the Cyclones, which so far is the high and the only game to break 100. Haley Strom is heading into the 10th frame with a 127, so I am confident that she will be our top bowler, obviously, for the girls there, as she's already got the second place score beat. All right, for our Shenandoah girls, Sparrow Hummel finished with a 165. Mary Hummel with a 146. Nora Martin with a 134. And Haley Strawn is going to miss that single pin. She's going to finish with a 135. Shenandoah girls are not seeming to struggle as much as the Harlan Cyclones are on finding a place on the lane. We do need to keep in mind that a lot of our girls are new to bowling this year, so we don't see a lot of girls that throw a hook, where with Shenandoah we do see quite a few more just familiar with how to hook the ball, playing the lane a little bit more diversely. They have a little bit more experience adjusting to the lane, as with our girls, a lot of them do just throw a straight ball. So adjusting can be a little bit more difficult. And I did talk to Coach Anderson about this a little bit as the season started. She said, you know, it's small steps, just getting them to understand the concept of the approach. How many steps are we taking and why? And then getting them to keep the ball on the lane. And then once we can get to that point, then that's when we focus on being able to get the ball straight down the lane and then adding in that hook eventually. So the good thing is, like I said, we don't have any seniors on the girls' side, so there's room for a lot of improvement in the coming years. So I'll be excited to see what she does next. Allie Hansen finishes with a 167 for the Shenandoah Mustangs, and Tori Peace finished with a 139. Then we're going to have Jalen Gray. She's at a 177 right now, potentially a 180 plus count. We'll see what she gets if she picks up this spare here. Right, she's going to finish with a 179 for this first game. Harlan girls finished with a 632, Shenandoah with a 930. Again, we will drop low series, but unfortunately our girls are going to have to make up a lot of pins to be able to play catch up with the varsity Shenandoah Mustangs.
At Polly Jones Funeral Home, compassion is our foundation. As a proud family-owned and operated business, we understand that during times of loss, empathy and understanding make all the difference. Our dedicated professionals, rooted in family values, are here to answer your calls and address your questions and concerns. With 3 locations in Harlan, Avoca, and Denison, we're available whenever and wherever you need us to provide customized services for every family we serve. Polly Jones Funeral Home, proudly serving our communities for over 90 years.
All right. The varsity boys here on lanes 5 and 6 are just diving right into the second game, already in frame 2. Logan Strom with a spare to finish up frame 1. Clean frame for the Harlan boys there. So let's see what we can do in frame 2. We've got Reese Gesser up, coming off a strike in the first frame. Love to see him double up here, as I know he really wanted to in the first game there. He's playing a pretty good line, very similar line. All the guys are playing, but he did leave a 1-2-8. As we get further into the second frame here, and the girls start their first, our JV boys are finishing up their first game. We've got Zeke Christensen bowling on lane 8. He has a 156 plus whatever count he gets on this second ball or third ball here in the 10th frame. Gage Rothmeyer for the Mustangs finished with a 116. And Zeke is going to finish with a 165. Very nice game. It's going to take us to Jacob Went in the lineup for our JV boys.
That's right, Donnie. That's right. I'll split.
No, thank you.
Charlie Dorr, who's got on lane 4 for the Cyclones. She's got an 8 count here. We'll see if she can run down this 2-pin spare on lane 4. And then we've got Jacob Went finishing up on lane 8. He finished with a 124 for the Cyclone JV boys. Take us to Noah Simon. Ethan Chapman for the JV Mustangs finished with a 137. And Noah Simon finished with a 109 for the Harlan JV boys.
That's right, guys. Let it go.
Makes me do some periods.
That tracks. But that oh no. There. Like mom doesn't agree. So I don't know.
Reese Griffin is up for the Cyclone JV boys on lane 8, finishing up his 10th frame. And then we've got Luke Mather for Shenandoah. Reese could fill here with the potential to have a fill ball, and he's going to do just that. He's got a nice game going so far, a 169. Only 2 opens, one in the first frame and then one in the 9th frame. Luke Mather is going to finish with a 123 for the JV Shenandoah boys. That second frame for our varsity boys here on lanes 5 and 6 did not look as good. Lots of opens, some weird leaves, splits. Not as high a count. I need to get some caffeine before we start Baker because I'm going to fall asleep here pretty soon. Reese Griffin, unfortunately, put it right in the gutter there, so he did finish just with a 169 for our JV boys there on lane 8. Kaylee Daniel just got a strike in the second frame for our varsity girls there on lane 3. That'll take us to Charlie Dorr in the lineup. Caleb Ernst just missed a 2-pin spare coming off of a double. So now we'll head to Reese Gussard in the lineup, looking to redeem himself there after a 7-1 count in at the second frame. Charlie Dorr also with a strike for the Cyclone varsity girls there on lane 3. Reese Gussard goes Brooklyn and thought he was going to leave a 5-10 there, and then both of them decided to fall. Not easily. It's like slow motion, so. Gideon Lyons finishes with a 153 for our JV boys. Take us to Gavin Sisson to finish off the 10th frame. Will Stevenson finished with a 156 for the JV boys from Shenandoah.
Way to get 2/3 of it, Donnie. Think positive. Just barely. All right, Katie. Come on.
Gavin Sisson misses that single pin spare there. And he's going to finish with a 127.
Oh, I got my lamp. Get up, Piggy. Number 10 didn't want to go down. My iPad.
Hello, Eric.
I just heard Donnie. You can hear all the comments. No, I want to get into it. No, why?
Mikey Wade finishes with a 147 for the JV Shenandoah boys.
You want to know why my doctor? What does it choose?
And to finish up for the JV boys there, we've got Caden Hodge on lane 7. Just has a 3-bagger there. Very nice game going for him. So he's got 2 more attempts here in the 10th frame. Caleb Ernst is going to take us into the 4th frame here on lanes 5 and 6 for the varsity boys. Eric McCauley shooting at a 3-count spare. Gonna get it the hard way. That 6-pin laid down on the deck. Did not move a whole lot. That was kind of scary. Caden Hodge with another strike for the JV boys there on lane 7. 4-bagger now. So we'll see if he finishes up with one last strike.
Is she going to get it?
Caden Hodge is going to finish with a 221, which is the high game overall.
She's a sunshine top.
She's sunshine, all right. We can make a.
All right, we're going to take one quick break here, and I'll be right back momentarily.
If you grill it, he will come.
Hey.
Is this heaven?
Nope. It's fairway.
All right, just want to take a quick break there, get a little caffeine. So we are back and are ready for the rest of the individual portion of tonight's match. Our JV boys are just getting started there in the first frame of their second game. Varsity boys are about halfway done with their fourth frame, and our varsity girls are in just beginning frame 3 of the individual portion of the match in game 2. Ron Monahan put that out a little bit far outside to pick up that 5-pin. You could tell by the way he kind of grabbed his hair that he was nervous he wasn't going to get it. He did run that one down. We'll see if Callie Daniels is able to do the same with the 4-pin that she's got over there on lane 4. Eric McCulley up on lane 5 for the varsity Cyclone boys. And Charlie Dorr up on lane 4 for the varsity girls.
Probably close to about 5.
Eric McCulley went Brooklyn there. Still got the strike, so we're not going to say too much about that. If the pins fall, the pins fall.
Not that hip.
All right, we've got Caleb Ernst leading the Cyclones into the 5th frame of the second game. He's going to leave a stone cold 10-pin there. And Madeline Gall up on lane 4, shooting at a 3-count spare.
So, like, if I see you right now, like, it's on site, it's happening right now.
Right in front of you.
Oh, sorry. And so, like, the next time I see you again, it's on site.
Caleb's going to miss that single 10 pin there on lane 6. We'll see if Reese Gesser can strike again. He's got a little bit of a pattern going here in the second game. Strike 7-1, strike 8-1. Hopefully we can figure out how to strike on lane 5, but for now we'll take another strike on lane 6. Katie Stern with a 7-count on lane 4. We'll see how she can shoot at this 3-count spare. Reese doesn't get the ball right where he wants it. Doesn't quite come back up. It's going to leave a 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. Katie Stern not able to run down that spare either. A little frustration on her face, you can tell. Reese does run that spare down on lane 6, so that'll take us to Donovan Smith. Phoenix Brewer starting the 4th frame for the girls there on lane 3. Haley Strom finishing up the 3rd frame on lane 4 for the girls. Phoenix Brewer with a 9-count, and Haley Strom is going to go Brooklyn, and she's going to leave a 6-pin.
My brother Matt comes on. Got a long family history.
I mean, he did.
Donovan Smith's gonna just chop off the 3-pin there out of that 3-6 lead. And then that'll take us to Rylan Monahan, who has found a very big liking for 9-count spares in the second frame, or in the second game, excuse me.
That's your song. Right. Or your song. Neither could I. I didn't know for
And for the 4th time in a row, Rylan Monahan knocks down a 1-count spare. So those 9 spares are his best friend this frame. Eric McCulley up on lane 6 for the varsity boys. And back to Charlie Dorr already in the 4th frame in the lineup for the varsity girls. McCulley's ball looks good. Just didn't quite come up enough, so he did leave a 2-5 there.
I had to pay you.
McCulley runs down that 2-5 lead on lane 6. Logan Strom up on lane 6 now, and Caleb Ernst taking us into the second half of the second game on lane 5. Leaves a 6-7 split. You can laugh at home if you're watching, because apparently that's funny. Madeline Gull up on lane 3 for the varsity girls. Leaves a 4-6-10 split. Hopefully just going for the count there with that 6-10. Logan Strom with a 4-7 to run down, and Caleb Ernst chopped off the 6 pin out of there, and Logan's going to run down both of those pins. Up to Reese Gessert. He's back up after his 5 spare in the 5th frame, so we hope for good count. Race with the 6 count there, just leaving the 2, 4, 5, 8 to pick up. Basically, this can be shot at just like your strike ball. You just kind of have to figure out how many boards to move to basically just throw your strike shot and have the ball move to make the 2-5 your new pocket. Reese did pull that one a little bit and leaves the 8 pin with where he shot that. It's not too surprising. Just couldn't get anything back there to hit the 8 pin out of it. Donovan Smith up on lane 5 for the varsity boys, with Haley Strom leading us into the last ball of the 4th frame.
So I get in the car and oh no!
Donovan Smith just kind of let that one off his hand. Went right into the gutter there on lane 5. So we'll see if he's able to come back at the second ball and get some better count.
Because of me. I'm glad I don't make your favorite.
Rylan Monahan up for the varsity boys here on lane 5. We'll see if the 9 count spare saga continues. Oof, and it's ended. Got a 7 count here, a 3, a 3, 6, 8. Kind of a weird one. It is still classified as a spare though because the head pin's not there, so still a weird leave. You can shoot at this for count, or you can try to make the pocket of the 3-6 and hope that the 3 goes back and knocks the 8 out. Wouldn't get overconfident about it just because it's not a lot of space, so you do have to hit it dead on of the pocket of that 3-6. Got the 3-6, but the 3 was not able to slide over and get the 8. Take us to Eric McCauley in the lineup. We've got Phoenix Brewer shooting at a single 7 pin on lane 4, and she's gonna knock that one down. Her spare game is looking a lot better today than it was at the first couple meets that we recorded and had here at home, which is tremendous improvement. She only has 1 open so far. She comes from a family of bowlers as well. So she definitely has the tools, the knowledge, and the coaching staff here at school just to take her very far. So it'll be really fun to see her continue to grow her game over the next few years, as she is, again, only a freshman. So much room for improvement with these teams. They're only going to get better. They're going to be able to bowl together for a long time, which is always so helpful. Eric McCauley chopped just a single pin off there. Nice thing about, just like any other sport, bowl the same people. When you start Saturday morning leagues, you have a team, you bowl against the same teams every week. You're familiar, you go to different tournaments within the state of Iowa, you learn people at other schools before you're even in high school. And then they only become more familiar once you're bowling in high school. So you do have the opportunity to stick with your team and bowling with the same people for a really long time, which, again, like a lot of other sports, you do get to do that, and you get to keep bowling even longer. Caleb Ernst starts off the 7th frame for the boys there on lane 6 with a strike, and Logan Strom is going to pick up that 6th pin on lane 5 to finish off the 6th frame for the varsity boys. Charlie Dorr shooting at a single 10 pin there on lane 4, and Reese Gesser up on lane 6 for our varsity boys. Reese goes Brooklyn, and he seems to be limping. Not quite sure what that's about. Have to ask him later.
Anyway, I'm
Donovan Smith with a little bit better of a ball there. Still puts a little bit further out than he probably wanted to there on that first ball. Doesn't quite get to the head pin, but he can still knock out this washout if he just maybe goes Brooklyn here.
Wait, what?
Cheryl, you don't remember that?
Got a blow it.
Woo! Good job, Leon! It was one thing with Cheryl. Or not with Cheryl.
Katie Stern shooting at a 4-count spare on lane 4. Look at the top 2 off of that. So that'll take us to Haley Strom for the varsity girls. Rylan Monahan leaves a 5-10 split on lane 6. Haley Strong goes Brooklyn there on lane 5, but it still just doesn't quite hit right. She is going to leave a, not on lane 5, on lane 4. She left 5 pin. That's what I meant to say. Words are hard sometimes.
Yeah, they said I think so.
Rylan Monahan's going to knock off the 5 pin out of that 5-10 split there on line 6. And Eric McCauley looking to fill here after an 8-1 open in the 6th frame. Haley Strom runs down that 5 pin there on lane 4, which takes us to a Phoenix Brewer to start off the 6th frame in the second half of this second game for the individual portion of the match.
I was like, can we just wait till for a minute? I was like, I do it.
Phoenix Brewer with a 9 count on lane 3, leaves a 10 pin over there. Eric McCauley leaves a 1-2-4-8 on lane 6. Didn't quite find the pocket there. Phoenix Brewer was not able to convert that 10 pin over there on lane 3, which will take us to Kaylee Daniel on lane 3 now for the varsity girls. McCauley was able to knock off 3 out of that washout. So still an open, so we'll see if Logan Strom can get the boys going again after 3 opens in a row for the Cyclone varsity boys in the 7th frame. Logan Strom knocked off that 3-count spare there on lane 6.
Yeah.
Got Charlie Dora up on lane 3 for our varsity girls. Put that one a little bit outside. Only going to get a few off that first ball.
I told them that I gave orders. I told you right away. Because she was Rose's 2 months off because you had gone down and was straight up half because I wanted to fight them.
Caleb Ernst up for the Cyclone varsity boys on lane 5, heading into the 8th frame of the second game. Then we've got Madeline Gall on lane 3 for the varsity girls, coming off of a strike in frame 5. Caleb Ernst's ball looks good, right in the pocket. And he got all 10. Madeline Gall with a 9-count there on lane 3, just leaving a single 7-pin. Then we've got Reese Gesser up on lane 5 for our varsity boys. Madeline Gall looks like she's going to run down that 7-pin there on lane 3, which she does. 2 fills in a row for her, which is great. Need to hopefully keep that momentum going for the rest of this second game. Reese knocks down his single pin spare there on lane 5, which will take us to Donovan Smith in the lineup. Katie Stern up on lane 3 for the varsity girls. And she's going to get a 5-count there, leave a 1, 3, 5, 8, 9.
Because I think my blood pressure is too high, and then they put it in.
Donovan Smith put that a little far inside. Just about went through the nose. It was extremely high. And leaves a 10-pin. Katie Stern knocks down that 5-count spare there on lane 3 for the Cyclones, taking us to Haley Strong. Donovan Smith put that spare ball out to the 1 board. And when I tell you I was nervous, my shoulders were like up to my ears. I was a little tense, but ran it down. That was awesome. Rylan Monaghan up on lane 5 for the varsity boys, and Haley Strom's gonna get a 9-count over there, leaving a 6-pin to shoot at. Rylan goes right into the pocket, puts all 10 back. Much needed after a few opens there in the second game. Now we've got Eric McCulley up.
That was before she started.
Coach Anderson and I did talk earlier this morning at work, asking about what can we talk about with so many young bowlers out this season. It's hard to, find as much commentary to talk about on air, just because they're young teams. So I kind of asked her what are they working on at practice. So she left me a few drills that they're working on. I'll do my best to kind of explain them as we kind of wrap up this second game and take a break before we head into Baker's. She said they're working on their power step and their slide. So for new bowlers, that's tremendously important. When you're talking about your power step, you're just talking about your lead off. How is your approach going? What are you doing to make sure that you're getting the ball in motion? What are you doing to make sure that you're set up and you're sliding on the right foot? I shouldn't say the right foot, we'll say the correct foot when you get to the line, depending on if you're right or left-handed. So that's an important one. That's been an emphasis in my game. Although I don't participate in tournaments like I used to, if I were to come in and practice like that instead of just bowling weekly, one steps are one of the most important things that you can do. So working on one steps in a release with your power step and your slide are going to be so important to your game, and just growing as a bowler, getting stronger at the line, and holding that finishing pose. The longer you watch bowling, the more you notice about the game of each individual bowler, which is why bowling is so interesting, because you can bowl the same exact score as somebody else every single frame, let's say, and neither of your games are going to look at all similar. They will have similarities, but they will not be similar in the way that you walk, your approach, your follow through, the way you slide, where you're looking, where your head's at, the tilt of your back. It's all so different. How much bend do you have in your knees? Everything. There's just so many things to look at when you're differentiating one person's game from another. She also said that they've been working on kind of a rev trainer rotation, getting rotation down. And like I had said, with such a young team, she's focusing on getting the approach down, getting the ball 60 feet down the lane, focusing on just the simple aspects of a game before really getting into that rotation. So the rotation training is important, especially for the boys that we have on the team that already throw somewhat of a hook, and just making sure that they're working on improving that constantly. Then she also said that they're working on a lot of spare drills. So spare drill, repeated pins, pickup. So just constantly shooting at 7 pins. Your 7 pins and your 10 pins are going to be your trouble spots for a lot of bowlers, which are just those. The far left corner pin is your 7 pin. The far right corner pin is going to be your 10 pin. So for right-handed individuals, your 10 pin is kind of going to be your arch nemesis. And for left-handed people, it's going to be your 7 pin. So just depends on how you look at spares. You have a love-hate relationship with them, but like I said earlier, spares win tournaments. So the importance of spare shooting at practice is so important to your game, and comes in very handy when you're looking at regional play, making it to state, Hawkeye 10, anything like that at the high school level. So spare drills are so important. So it does make me happy. The bowler in me gets very excited when I hear that Jamie is working on all of that at practice. Spares are so crucial to a good game and making a good player. So the importance of that, I know the players probably don't love it. Repeatedly shooting at 7 pins can get very time consuming. But one of the best ways that we did it when I was in high school and all throughout college is pick a pin and just move your way through the line. Start with your head pins. God forbid you leave a lot of single head pins. Then move to your 2, go to your 3, go to your 4, go to your 5. Just shoot constantly. Say, I'm going to pick up 5 2 pins before I can move on. I'm going to pick up 5 4 pins before I can move on. I'm going to pick up 5 7 pins before I can move on. Just kind of drilling that drill into your head and making it a constant part of your routine is going to make you so much more confident in spares because you know what you have to do. Okay, so that was kind of a rant. Sorry. So let's just go back to how the meet's going. So as you've been seeing, we do have a few more fills, which has got to feel good for the team. Our varsity boys are finishing up on lane 6 with their 9th frame. We've got Eric McCulley up there. And then on lane 4, we're back to Haley Strom, who is finishing up the 7th frame for our varsity girls. The JV boys are a couple frames behind, just starting that 6th frame. Obviously, they got started a little bit later, so they're probably not going to finish at the same time, so we will take a little bit of an intermission as they finish up before we head into the bigger portion of the match.
Hey, pick it up, honey. Pick it up.
Haley Strom shooting at another single 5-pin there. Like I said, this is when the whole spare training comes in very important. She's had a lot of those, but she's nailed a lot of them. So really can't say much about that at all.
I've been.
All right, Caleb Ernst starting off the 10th frame with the big 4. You heard me talk about this one earlier. 4, 6, 7, 10. It's not pretty. Just look at lane 5. Just go for count here. That's all you can really do. That's exactly what he did. Caleb's going to finish with a 163. Was a 10-pin improvement from his first game. Until he's visibly kind of frustrated. Will bring his average down a little bit, but that happens to all of us. So Reese Gisser with the first strike in the 10th frame. Sitting at a 131, plus he has 2 more shots here in the 5th frame, or on lane 5 in the 10th frame. Owen Noakes for Shenandoah finished with a 154. His second game. Reese leaves a 6, 7, 10. So again, we'll just take the count here. That's all we can really ask for. He could shoot it out, see if he can get that 6-pin to slide over and knock out the 7.
Oh, of course. Like, I feel like if I
haven't. So I don't know. You got him.
maybe you should ask him.
But that is 100% something that you were about.
Spencer Ford for the Shenandoah Mustangs that finished game 2 with a 177. Do you need my tool? It's in my bag. Gonna take a quick pause. Gonna help one of the bowlers get one of their thumb inserts out.
Harlan Do It Best is your best source for friendly service, expert advice, and innovative products. Whether you need to build it, paint it, fix it, or grill it, we have it all. Our full-service paint department, utilizing Valspar paints, can match any color for your interior and exterior painting projects. Check out our new Diablo tool aisle for all power tool accessories needed for your home improvements. Make grilling easy with our full selection of grills and grilling supplies. Harlan Do It Best, conveniently located at 1810 Chatbird Avenue in Harlan.
At United Bank of Iowa, the difference is here. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 59 and Pine Street in Harlan, you'll always find a smiling face to greet you and help you with all your banking needs. We offer competitive rates on deposits and loans, and the latest in technology with our online and mobile products. Come and find out for yourself why the difference is here at United Bank of Iowa. Member FDIC.
Hanson House Senior Living. Experience life, experience Hanson House.
All right, Reese finished with a 140 for the second game there. And Landon Cognac finished with a 101 for Shenandoah. Donovan Smith shooting at a single 10-pin here on lane 5. See if we can get an extra shot off of him. Ball still came up a little too much at the end there and snapped, so he finished with a 125. Rylan Monahan heads into the 10th frame on a 9 miss, so we'll see if he's able to put up a big 10th frame. There's a baby split of the 310 there. Tegan Brunk finished with, oh, gosh darn, already forgot what it was. Not showing something else on the screen. Tegan Brunk finished with a 180 for the Mustangs. And Rylan's just going to knock off one of those. He's going to finish with a 149. Still a 1-pin improvement from his first game. Eric McCauley heads into the 10th frame with a 9 spare in the 9th frame. He's going to leave a single 6-pin here to shoot at.
Oh, darn.
Matt Holmes for the Mustangs finished with a 181. Eric ran down that 6-pin, so he'll have one more shot here in the 10th frame. Sitting at a 149 right now, plus whatever count he happens to get here.
Yikes.
I believe Eric finished with a 157, if my math is correct. Don't quote me, math is not my strong suit. Yep, 157. Sometimes I'm good for something.
Shake it off, buddy. Shake it off.
All right, Logan Strom starts his 10th frame off with a 9 count. He's going to shoot at a 4-pin. And Clay Fauch for the Mustangs finished with a... This little dude stands up there too long. Wish we could get rid of him. 204 for Clay Fauch.
You can tell when she's busy.
All right, be great if Logan could punch out here all 10 back and finish with a 180. Just to, again, just keep that gap close heading into Baker. Not quite, gonna finish with a 177. All right, we'll just take a quick minute to thank our HLTV Channel 15 2025-2026 sponsors as we wait for our girls to head into the 10th frame of their second game. So our sponsors again are Pizza Ranch in Harlan, United Bank of Iowa, Western Iowa Medical, Conductix Wampler, Murty Medical Center, KNOD Radio, Cyclone Lanes, Keast Auto Center, Shelby County State Bank, Hanson House Senior Living, Polly Jones Funeral Home, Murty Medical Center Physical Therapy and Rehab Services, Fairway in Harlan, Do It Best Hardware, The Agency Insurance, Dr. J's Family Eye Care, Cyclone Seed and Chemical, Hamilton Financial Services, Patriots Choice Contracting, and the Peterson Family Wellness Center and Lewis Family Aquatic Complex. Thank you to our sponsors.
No, send me an invite. I'll do it. I'm in freedom.
All right, we're just wrapping up the 9th frame on lanes 3 and 4.
And then,
Madeline Gall is going to get just a couple pins.
which is me, my nephew, and his fiance. And then I have besties, which is me and Eddie.
And Katie Stern up on lane 4 for our varsity girls. Katie Stern with a 7 count on lane 4. Katie's ball took off a little too much there, and she only knocked one of the 3 off there. So Haley Strom will be the last of the 9th frame here for the Cyclones. And Phoenix Brewer is going to go ahead and get us started in the 10th frame here. Haley with a 9 count, leaving just her 7 pin up there. Phoenix Brewer had a 6 count there to start off her 10th frame. Kind of a funky leave, a 1, 2, 7, 9. Just about got it. 7 pin was wobbling quite a bit there. But she still had a really great game. Finished with gave the spare to her. Shouldn't have. I was thinking about falling though for quite a while. She finished with a 127. Which, I need to look. Was that her high game? Yes, that was her high game for the season. Previously was a 116.
Hey, buddy.
Kaylee Daniel with a 5 count to start off her 10th frame. She is also very close to beating her high game of the season or tying it. So we'll see what she's able to do here with this second shot. Sparrow Hummel for the Mustangs finished. Oh, goodness. Oh, Kaylee knocked that one down, so she gets another shot, and she will. She already beat her high game of the season. So Sparrow Hummel finished with a 126 for the Mustangs. The second game.
I want to know who
All right, Kaylee finished with a, gosh darn, the stop sign always gets me. I can't think that fast. Then I have to just wait for the score to show. Someday I'll be good at math, but today's not that day, so I'm sorry to tell all my listeners. All right, Kaylee finished with a 125, so again, that is her high game. So I'm going to cross out her previous high score on my sheet, update that. Charlie Dorr with a 7 count to start off her 10th frame on lane 3. Left a 4, 7, 10. Again, we'll just take the count here. Don't want to push it. Just get the count.
I said, have you been searched at schools? Yeah.
Charlie unfortunately missed all 3 of those. She's going to finish with a 108. Mary Hummel for the Mustangs finished with a 158, her second game. And Nora Martin finished with a 134.
RJ wasn't.
Madeline Gall with a 7 count as well to start off her 10th frame. Leaves a 5, 6, 10. Again, just count.
Mrs. Ring said she would rewrite to do it because Renee, her daughter was in the worst. She found out she started sleeping. Somebody else's kid got served, and then, yeah. Like, she's kidding.
Madeline Gall finished with a 97 for the Cyclones. A 1-10 improvement from her last game. So, again, we love all improvement. Any way, shape, or form, we'll take it. Katie Stern, her first ball of the 10th frame, looks good. It's going to be all 10.
Just for 2 more. Like every time they went through that.
We won the other ball. They smoked that one. Back in my day.
Another good ball by Katie. It was a little bit light, so she's gonna leave a 5-7 there. So we'll just take one. I'm not gonna be mad about 2 though. We'll take one. Allie Hansen is gonna finish with a 189 for the Mustangs on lane 4. Very nice game.
No, I think Sarah.
And Katie's gonna get a 1 on there, and she's gonna finish with a 112. Now Haley Strom for the final. Her first ball is going to be an 8 count, gonna leave a 6-10.
I'm not hungry. And I'm not going to have time to eat at my beach.
Tori Peace is gonna finish with a 131 for the Mustangs. And Haley's gonna knock that one down. All right, Haley's gonna finish with a 152 for the Cyclones. only a few pins short of a new high game. All right, that was a much better game for the Cyclones. Unfortunately, still just weren't able to make up many pins there. Again, we will drop the low series before we head into Baker. Jalen Gray finishing up her 10th frame here.
Yeah!
She picks this up. She'll finish with a 172. Anything less, just a 171.
He thought it was funny. Of course he did. I did it.
I finished with a 171.
Because you're fucking.
All right, we'll take a quick break so we let our JV boys finish up this second game. We'll be back shortly.
Listen to 105.3 KNOD. KNOD covers local, state, and world news. KNOD covers your favorite local high school sports, the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Chicago Cubs. KNOD covers Brownfield Ag News programs. KNOD plays the hits you want to hear from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. KNOD has great advertising rates for your business. Call 800-876-KNOD for more info. 105.3 KNOD.
Cyclone Lanes in Harlan is your total family fun entertainment center. Known for our homemade buttercrust pizza, we also offer great burgers and a variety of other sandwiches and sides, all available to eat in or carry out. Cyclone Lanes is available for birthday parties, company outings, and church youth groups. Laser bowling starts on Friday and Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. We invite you to come enjoy some fun family entertainment and great food at Cyclone Lanes in Harlan.
All right, and welcome back to the bigger portion of tonight's meet. Just looking at the scores after the individual portion of the meet, our JV boys for the Shenandoah are sitting at, oh my gosh, it is moving so fast. I'm gonna see if we can change that. Give me just 1 second.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna have one of the managers get us a score sheet since the PowerPoint moves it's moving lightning speed. I can't read that fast. So we'll wait for that to go over the scores and the standings after the individual games portion of the match. So starting off on the Baker side for the varsity girls, we got Katie Stern in leadoff. Started with a 5 count there, and she was able to get 4 of the 5 for the spare. Varsity boys starting their lineup off with Eric McCulley in the leadoff position. Went Brooklyn and is going to get a strike. Reese Gesser is going to be in the 2 spot for our varsity boys. And for our girls, it's going to be Kaylee Daniel. Reese doubled up for the boys there. So we've got Rylan Monahan in the 3 spot. Kaylee Daniel had an 8 count there in the first ball, and she missed both in her second attempt. Rylan Monahan up for his first shot. He's going to go Brooklyn, and he's going to get all 10. Caleb Ernst in the 4 spot. Pretty typical for him to be in the 4th spot based on their previous meets this season. And then we've got Charlie Dorr up on lane 3 for the varsity girls. Hit the left side of the head pin and left a 6'10" on lane 3, and then Caleb went ahead and left a 5'9". Looks like Charlie's going to be able to get both of those down. First fill for the varsity girls there. Then we'll have Phoenix Brewer in the 4 spot. Caleb Ernst only chops one of those pins off of that. It's going to lead us into the 5th frame with Logan Strom. Phoenix Brewer is going to get a 7 count. See if she's able to run that down. And Logan Strom with a 5-10 split left. Logan chops one off of his split there, so we'll be back at the top of the lineup. And Phoenix knocks down all 3 on her spare there, setting Haley Strom up in a really good spot for the 5th frame. Eric McCauley back in the leadoff position for the varsity boys. Puts that one a little bit further outside, much better pocket position. Got all 10 again, so we'll see if Reese is able to do the same once again. Haley Strom with a big 4 on lane 3. Again, that's a 4, 6, 7, 10. We'll just go for count here. Reese goes Brooklyn and leaves a 6 pin there. And Haley knocks 2 off of that big 4 on lane 3. Back at the top of the lineup with Katie Stern. Reese knocks down that 6 pin. First spare of the game for the Harlan boys, and that'll take us to Rylan Monahan again. Katie Stern pulled that one across her body just a little bit. Only going to get a 5 count there. Rylan goes Brooklyn and also leaves a 6 pin. Looking at our scores, the varsity boys for Shenandoah have a 1757. Shenandoah varsity girls sitting at a 1571. Harlan girls at a 1160. JV boys, Harlan's got a 1422 to Shenandoah's 1466. Varsity boys for Harlan have a 1589 to Shenandoah's 1757. Harlan was able to get that 6 pin picked up, leaving Caleb Ernst going in on a fill in the 9th frame. Much better shot. It's going to be right in the pocket. All 10 back, setting Logan Strom up for success. A bit of a weird leave on lane 3 by Kaylee Daniel. It's a 1-5-6. No fills since since Phoenix's 7th spare. Cyclone boys are looking to get some pin differential cut in this first game of Baker. Kaylee Daniel gets 2 of the 3 she left on the lane, which will now put us at Charlie Dorr up for the varsity girls. Logan Strom looking to cover this 10 pin. It's going to get down there. Shenandoah boys are fighting back, going into the 10th frame. They were on a double. And then their anchor bowler did get a strike, so they have a 3-bagger now in the 10th frame with 2 more attempts. Charlie Dorr on lane 3 got a 7 count for the varsity women. Logan Strom's going to go right through the nose with an 8 count to finish off the game for the varsity boys. Going to finish with a 192. Shenandoah now on a 4-bagger in the 10th frame. Just when I thought we were making up some more pins. Phoenix Brewer up on lane 3 for the varsity girls. Phoenix gets an 8 count there. All right, varsity boys for Shenandoah fought back, finished with a 183. Harlan was still able to get a few pins off of them though, so looking to close that gap just a little bit more in the next Baker game. Shenandoah JV boys finished with a 169, their first Baker game. Harlan Junior Varsity boys just going into the 9th frame there. Phoenix only chopped one of those pins off, so our varsity girls are sitting at an 89 in the 9th frame. Be great to see Haley Ernst get the first strike here, just to guarantee 2 more shots in the 10th frame.
What?
He always was tough.
Haley gets a solid 8 count for the first ball of the 10th frame. It's going to go for the 5-8.
All right.
Shenandoah varsity girls. Of course I missed it. Now I gotta wait. Haley knocked down that 5-8 that she left there, so she'll get 1 more shot attempt. Shenandoah varsity girls finished with a 140. Eric McCauley, first ball on lane 6 here in the second game. Leaves a 4-5 split. And Haley's going to get a 9 count there. And the Harlan girls are going to finish with a 108, their first game.
Yes.
They changed their background photo in our Facebook.
Huh?
They changed their background photo in our Facebook text.
Oh.
Eric able to just get one of those out of that split there. So we'll see if Reese Gesser can get it going for the Harlan boys here and just put all 10 back to get us in a good position to get some more pins back. Harlan JV boys are going to finish with a 180 for their first Baker game, which is great. Reese was able to get all 10 there, so we'll see what Rylan Monahan can do. Double would be fantastic. Again, the JV boys do have a close game going of a 14-22 to a 14-66. Harlan JV boys just down by 44. Now less. Now only 33, I believe, since they got a few pins back in that first Baker game. Katie Stern unfortunately did not do what she wanted to do to start that that second Baker game off. Put the ball in the gutter, that first ball. Rylan Monahan with a 9 count on lane 6, shooting at a 6 pin here. Caleb Ernst had a strike in the 4th frame there to set Logan Strom up for a big 5th frame. Harlan girls, on the other hand, struggling. Now 3 gutters in a row, looking to see if Madeline Gall can get some count there on the 2nd ball. Logan Strom doubles up off of Caleb's strike. Harlan girls got a 3 count there. We'll see if Charlie Dorr is able to get a good count here for the Cyclones. Eric McCulley up on lane 6 for our varsity boys as leadoff. Another good shot. And it's gonna be a 3-bagger. And Reese has been throwing it pretty well. He did strike his 1st frame of this game. Charlie Dorr with an 8 count there. Much better count for the Cyclone girls. We'll see if she's able to run this down. Reese Gesser goes kind of through the nose. It's going to leave a 3-6-7 split. Again, we'll just go for count here, and hopefully his teammates can lift him up in the next frame. Charlie Dorr pushed that one out just a little bit, and is unfortunately going to fall off the lane before it covers the spare. Phoenix Brewer up on lane 4 for the varsity girls. Reese does knock down 2 off of that split. See if Rylan Monahan's able to put all 10 back and get the momentum going again for the Harlan boys. Phoenix Brewer with a 6 count for the varsity girls. Rylan Monahan, really nice ball. Just came up a little flat as it went into the pocket. Didn't have enough oomph to get the 10 pin out of there, so we will shoot at that now. He runs that one down. Caleb Ernst up for the varsity boys.
Good job, better not!
All right, the split left on lane 5 by the varsity Shenandoah boys is going to help us a little bit get into a better position going into the 10th frame. Caleb Ernst got all 10, which is just what we needed. Going to continue to close that gap, hopefully, for our varsity boys. Haley Strom goes at Brooklyn. It's going to leave a 6 pin there.
Oh, that'd be good. Oh, you can look though.
One of the perks of being a mom.
Yo. Sure, this location might be a little mom.
I'm not going to.
Logan Strom shooting for count here to knock off that 4-7. Our varsity boys are going to finish with a 182 for their second Baker game.
What? Her mom's good.
Shenandoah boys struggled a little bit here with some splits. Was able to convert a baby split in the 10th frame here, sitting at a 159. Again, another chance for our boys to gain a few pins on them there, which was great.
That's
169 for the Shenandoah varsity boys. Another 12 pins on them, so we'll take that. 13 pins, sorry.
Good job.
All right, our Harlan Varsity girls really struggling here, sitting at a 27 in the 6th frame. Really could use any count here from Madeline Gall. Got a 7 count there. We'll take it. Definitely could use a couple pins out of this split here.
I wasn't trying to. What? Her mom was really.
Fortunately, Madeline's not going to be able to get any of those 3 pins that were up there, so we'll see what we're able to do with Charlie Dorr. The girls could really use a fill here just to get the momentum back, so hopefully Charlie Dorr is our girl for that. Varsity boys are going to head into their 3rd Baker game of the night. Eric is... I'm guessing we're probably not going to do too much for the lineup change here. Eric McCulley has been very good in the leadoff position. He's bowled in the 4 spot as well last season. I believe he had a couple opportunities to bowl in the 5 spot, but I could be mistaken. No, Logan Strom's been really strong in the 5 spot since his freshman year. Charlie Dorr did get an 8 count there, which is great for our Cyclone girls, and she's going to get both counts there, which is just what we needed. Be great to see a big count on the spare from Phoenix Brewer here in the 9th frame. Eric McCulley is going to chop 2 off of that spare, which will take us to Reese Gessert in the lineup. Reese is going to come up high, and he's also going to leave a split there. He's going to leave the 3, 6, 7. He did leave this the last game as well. Phoenix did get a 6 count on that spare there, which again, any count helps. She can run down these 4 here. That would be tremendous.
Are you looking out loud?
Just chopped one of those off there, so we'll see how Haley Strom's able to finish this one for our girls. Reese just about shot that. He almost picked it up the last time he left it too, so need something big from Rylan Monahan here. Shenandoah boys are finding their groove, so. Haley was able to get all 10 there in the first shot of the 10th frame, giving her the opportunity for 2 more shots. Rylan Monahan's going to go right into the pocket and get all 10. Caleb Ernst has had a good look throughout Baker, so we'll see if he's able to double up on that. Haley Strom goes right through the nose for a 6 count there.
You got it.
No, just kidding. One more fill. So 7 count there, sorry. Caleb Ernst came up a little bit high. Is going to leave a 6 spin there. Varsity girls are going to go ahead and finish with a 74 to Shenandoah's 167. Shenandoah Junior Varsity boys finished with a 148. And our Harlan JV boys are going to finish with a 102. Unfortunately, lost some pins there. Logan Strom looking to get a strike here, get the momentum going again for the varsity boys, and he does just that. Phoenix Brewer in the leadoff position now for our Harlan varsity girls, starting on lane 3. Back with Eric McCulley and leadoff for our varsity boys here on lane 5. Phoenix gets a 9 count on lane 3. And it's going to be shooting at a 7-pin. Eric's ball looks good. He's going to get that 4-pin to trip, which was a great double. We'll see what Reese is able to do. Hopefully we don't get another 3-6-7. Reese pulled that quite a bit. Only going to end up with a 4 count there. And although this spare can look easy, it can be very difficult to get that 8-pin out of there, depending on how you hit the pocket. Madeline Gall with a nice 9 count over there for the girls on lane 3. Would love to see her run this 10-pin down and get a mark early for the Cyclones this game. Reese's ball looks a lot better. Unfortunately, hit that a little bit light in the pocket and did not get that 8 shot out. Back with Rylan Monahan in the 8th frame here for our varsity boys. And Madeline is just going to miss that 10-pin. Back at Kaylee Daniel is going to be in our 3 spot for the varsity girls.
Right.
At least we're on the third break of
Rylan Monahan's going to go Brooklyn almost through the nose and leave a 3-10. Kaylee Daniel picks up her spare, which is huge for our varsity girls, just to get that first mark of the game. Means a lot, it can help the momentum. Rylan Monahan runs down that 3-10 split in the 8th frame for our boys, setting Caleb Ernst up with the opportunity to just have a big frame here and set Logan up. Charlie Dorr is in the 4th spot for our varsity girls on lane 3. She is going to, looks like a good ball. She's going to get a 9 count. 7 pins wiggling a little bit. Caleb Ernst puts all 10 back.
Oh. Come on, bud.
Varsity boys for Shenandoah finished this game with a 180. Unfortunately, I don't know if our varsity boys are going to be able to get back up there. Charlie Dora looked really promising, just didn't get over quite far enough. So we will be at waiting for our 5 spot to get up here. Logan Strom able to cover that 6-10. Max, our boys can shoot right now is a 172. Won't be able to close the gap much further this game, but we'll see if we can come back next game.
Yeah. Yeah, did you think people on Facebook?
Is there a name?
All right, our varsity boys are going to finish with a 169 that game.
Hey, Jamie. I put like 88.
Oh, that's right.
Haley Strom left the 3-10 baby split over there on lane 3, and she's going to knock it down. So 2 fills for our varsity girls here on lane 3 this game. We'll be back to the start of the lineup, Phoenix Brewer. Phoenix Brewer with a really nice ball. She got all 10, which is great coming off of Haley's spare there in the 5th frame. Madeline Gall up for the Cyclones on lane 3. And Eric McCauley starts the 4th Baker game for our boys off with a 9 count, just leaving a 4 pin there. Madeline Gall with a 7 count on lane 3, looking to run down the spare. Eric McCauley covers that single pin spare there, and we'll see Donovan Smith in for our varsity boys for the first time in the Baker portion of tonight's meet. Kaylee Daniel up on lane 3 for our varsity girls.
Mama said his friend brought some. No. Because he told me.
Kaylee Daniel also knocks down her spare. It was a 5 count and a 5 count spare. So we will be back to Charlie Dorr in the lineup. Donovan Smith only covers one of the pins in his split there, so we will be at Rylan Monahan in the 3rd frame for the boys. Charlie Dorr's ball looks good. Gonna get an 8 count there. And Rylan Monahan gonna go through the nose and leave a 6, 7, 10. Our Shenandoah Junior Varsity boys finished with a 205 that game. That was great. Charlie picks one of those pins off of her 2 count spare, so we'll be back to Haley Strom in the lineup to finish off this 3rd Baker game.
All right.
Haley hits the Brooklyn side of the pocket and is going to leave a single 3 pin to shoot at. And then we've got Caleb Ernst up on lane 6 for the varsity boys, leaving a 10 pin. Haley Strom going to cover that single pin spare there. And our girls are sitting at a 127, which is so far going to be their high Baker game. Caleb missed that 10 pin, so we'll head to Logan Strom for the 5th frame.
But it's so true.
Shenandoah varsity girls are going to finish with a 160 that game to our Harlan girls 136.
Like, put her down. Can't get my
Family, service, community. At SCSB, we put our values front and center in everything we do. That means offering incentives and education to help young people start strong financial habits early, supporting our local ag producers and small businesses with the financing they need to succeed, and giving help where and when the community needs it, because we want you to know that we're there for you when you need it. Start your financial future with SCSB, your financial partner for every stage of life.
At Keast Auto Center, it's our mission to be the automotive home of Ford, Chevy, and GMC drivers in Southwest Iowa. Conveniently located just off Highway 59 in Harlan, we provide a vast selection of new and used vehicles, exceptional car care, and always deliver customer service with a smile. As your hometown auto dealer, we strive to make every transaction an easy one. Call or stop by today to get in touch with a member of our team and let us know how we can serve you today. Keast Auto Center, proudly serving Southwest Iowa for over 31 years.
Back at the top of the lineup for the Cyclone boys. Eric McCulley almost left a 5-7 split, but was able to punch the 5-pin out of there, shooting at a single 7-pin now. Our girls are heading into their fourth Baker game of the night. Phoenix Brewers still at leadoff. She got a 7 count and is going to be shooting at a 1-2-4. Eric McCulley's ball is just not going to make it over the center line. It's not going to hit that 7-pin. So we'll be back at Donovan Smith as we head into our 7th frame. Phoenix Brewer was able to cover that 3-count spare for the Cyclones, and now will be at Madeline Gall in the lineup. Our Harlan Junior Varsity boys finished with a 145 the last game. Unfortunately, that gap for our Junior Varsity boys has closed off a little bit. Probably not within reach now, but anything is possible, so we'll see. Great ball by Madeline Gall. Gonna get a 7 count there. Takes us to Kaylee Daniel in the 3rd frame for our Cyclone varsity girls. And we've got Rylan Monahan up on lane 6 for our varsity boys. Unfortunately, that gap is continuing to grow between our Shenandoah boys and our Harlan Cyclones. Struggling to find a line here for a lot of the varsity boys. For Harlan, only 2 fills so far this game. A couple splits and just single pin and a few lower count spare misses. Rylan shoots a 6-7-10 split, so again, we'll just go for count right here. Kaylee Daniel shooting at a 4-count spare. She's had some great shots in Baker. Fortunately, is going to miss all 4 of those this time around. Now we'll have Charlie Dorr up in the 4 spot. She's done really well during Baker tonight, so we'll see if she's able to, again, just get that momentum going and set Haley up for a big 5th frame and keep that momentum alive through the second half of this 4th game. It's going to get an 8 count there, which she left the head pin, so this should be a relatively easy spare to pick up. And then just struggling on lane 6 for our boys. Kayla Burns is going to leave a 8-10 split. Just go for count here. Charlie picked that one up, and Caleb's able to get one off of his split there. Shenandoah varsity boys finished with a 184 that game. Haley Strom with a 7 count on lane 4. Gonna shoot at the 2-4-5 spare here on our second ball. Varsity boys were still able to break 100 here, sitting at a 107. Would love to see Logan cover this spare here and just get as much count as we can on the fill ball. Haley Strom able to cover her 3 count spare there on lane 4, setting Phoenix up for the ability to get a great count here going into the second half of this game. Logan Strom converted his single pin spare there, so we'll go for some extra count here in the 10th frame. Fortunately, that did not come off the hand how Phoenix planned for it to. Not going to get any additional count on there besides the regular 10 pins. Boys able to get all 10 back there. Gonna finish with a 117 that game.
I was like, good try, come back and tell her that the time, but we're gonna have to hurt the toe.
Much better ball for Phoenix there on lane 4. Really could use that for the first ball. Oh, just kidding. Our varsity boys finished with a 118. My bad. Eric McCulley with a 9 count to start off the 5th and final Baker game for the Harlan boys here tonight. Madeline Gall up on lane 4 for our varsity girls. Like a much better ball off her hand. Eric covers that spare. We'll see if Madeline is able to do the same on lane 4. Reese Gessert back in for the Cyclones in the 2 spot here on lane 5. And Madeline does cover that spare there. Great start to the second half for our girls. Reese with a 9 count as well, leaving a single 3 pin to shoot at. Kaylee Daniel looking to get some count off of Madeline Gall's spare there in the 7th frame. Nine count, which is, again is just very helpful. Reese covers his single pin spare there as well.
Oh, February 6th, 800.
Rylan Mollinahan with an 8 count split during the 5th frame there. 4-10 split. And Kaylee did miss her single pin spare there, so now we'll be back to Charlie Dorr going into the 9th frame here. Rylan's going to knock down 1 off of that 8 count 2 pin split conversion. So we'll be at Caleb Ernst, looking to have a better 5th game this time around after a little bit of a struggle there in the 4th Baker game. Charlie Dorr had an 8 count there, leaving a 6-10 to shoot at. Caleb Ernst with a 7 count there, left a 3-6-10. Charlie Dorr not able to convert either of those 2 pins there in the 9th frame. So we'll be back at Haley Strom to finish off this 4th game. Caleb Ernst does cover his 3-pin spare there in the 4th frame for the Harlan University boys on lane 5. So we'll be back to Caleb, that's who just bowled, Logan Strom for this 5th frame. Haley Strom with a 9 count there on lane 4 for the Cyclones. Logan's going to leave a 4-pin on lane 5 there. We'll see if Haley's able to run down this single pin on lane 4 for our girls. The Shenandoah varsity girls are going to finish with a 158 this game. Haley unfortunately misses that, and the girls are going to finish with a 104. Logan was able to convert his spare. So we're back to Eric McCulley.
Good job, Eric.
Eric McCulley put all 10 back there in the 6th frame, hoping that Reese Gesser can double this up just to close that gap. Just feel better when you get that gap down a little bit. Reese is going to leave 6, 7, 10, which is a little bit different than his 3, 6, 7. He has been leaving a few times tonight. The Shenandoah Junior Varsity boys are going to finish their 4th game with a 159. And Charlie Dorr with a 9 count there to start off the 5th and final game for our girls. Left a 6-pin there. Our Harlan Junior Varsity boys are just wrapping up their 4th game, sitting at a 121, just waiting for the fill ball. Reese Gessert got the count there on his split in the 7th frame, and Charlie Dorr is going to convert her single pin spare. Sisson is going to finish off the Junior Varsity boys' 4th game with a fill ball, finishing with a 129 for our Junior Varsity boys. They'll head into their final game. We've got Rylan Monahan up on lane 5 for our varsity boys with a 9 count for his last frame of the night. Left a 3-pin. Madeline Gall with a 5 count there on lane 3. Got a little bit of count off that spare of Charlie Dorr's in the 1st frame, so we'll see if she's able to convert this one. Rylan Monahan covers his single pin spare. Caleb Ernst up for his last frame of the night on lane 5. Madeline Gall gets 2 off of her 5 count leave there. So it'll be at Haley Daniel.
I'm talking to the chair now.
Caleb looks like he moved his line a little bit further inside just to play a tighter line cross lane. Worked in his favor, got all 10 back. Got to feel good for your last frame of the night. Kaylee Daniel with a 5 count on lane 3. And Logan Strom up for our varsity boys on lane 5.
Yeah, it's too short.
Logan Strom with a 9 count, leaving a single 4-pin to shoot out after his first ball of the 10th frame. Looking to cover this just to, once again, get the extra fill there. Shenandoah varsity boys are going to finish with a 144 their last game. Oops. Wrote that in the wrong spot. Phoenix Brewer with a 9 count in the 4th frame for our varsity girls there on lane 3. Logan Strom did convert that 4-pin Is going to shoot for a fill ball here in the 10th frame. Got a few pins back there. Just working on closing that gap. Unfortunately, Harlan boys are not going to walk away with the win tonight. Harlan boys finished with a 169 for their 5th and final Baker game of the night. So we'll just head into the last half of our varsity girls 5th game of the night. Shenandoah girls are really having a run during the 5th and final game. 3 spares and 3 strikes so far, no opens. Make that 4 strikes. Haley Strom with a baby split here, and she's going to convert that 310. Be back at the lineup with Charlie Dorr, I believe, is our leadoff. Charlie Dorr with a 7 count for her last frame of the night. Charlie Dorr able to cover her last 3 count spare of the night. Always got to feel good just finishing the night on a high note. Shenandoah girls did have their first open of the game in frame 8 there, sitting at a 167. Great game for them so far. Madeline Gall hoping for a big fill here just to get a good start on that fill in the 7th frame here. Looks like it's going to go right down the middle. Going to get a 9 count there, which is great for the spare. All right, so our meet for the varsity boys ended with the Harlan varsity boys losing to Shenandoah by 20. Our varsity boys shot a 24-19 to Shenandoah's 26-17. So Shenandoah will walk away with a win tonight here at Cyclone Lanes. Our Shenandoah varsity girls are going to finish with a game just over 200. We're going to finish with a 213. That's a great game.
Watch the ball. He's sitting. No. They were at this chair.
Phoenix with a strike for her last shot of the night. I'm going to set Haley Strom up for a big 10th ring here.
Will, pick it up.
Haley Strom with a 9 count. All right, Harlan Varsity girls are going to finish with that darn mountain that always has to come up. I don't pay close enough attention. We're going to finish with a 117 for the night. All right, the Shenandoah Junior Varsity boys are going to finish this game with a 146. All right, Harlan girls are going to finish with a 1699 to Red Oaks 2409. Shenandoah is going to take away the win for both the boys and the girls varsity teams tonight. JV boys are going to finish with a 21-35 to Shenandoah's 22-93. So it's going to be a Shenandoah sweep tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live broadcast. If you feel like you want to come down and support the next home meet, it is going to be next Thursday at 3 p.m. Our boys and girls teams are headed to Red Oak for the varsity tournament on Tuesday, January 13th. But the next home duel will be on Thursday, January 15th versus Clarinda. And we will be recognizing our seniors. Again, that's Thursday, January 15th at 3 p.m. Versus Clarinda. And that is going to be our senior night for our two senior boys. So thank you for tuning in, and we hope to have you back with us next time or here in person.